Hello lovelies. So in my last video I made a mini kit using my stash. I made a mini Project Life kit just with bits and pieces, and I said I didn't have a filming setup in my dining room, so I wasn't able to share it with you. Well, I found one. I stole my husband's model light kit thing, and it's got like a place where I could put my phone, so I was able to record my week 1 spread. So yes, we're in March. Yes, this is my week 1. I'm further in my album than this, not much, but I am further. But I did film week 1 after I put this kit together. So this is using the very first mini kit that I put together in my last video, and I am getting stuck into my Project Life. So I do have to mention we are moving house on Friday. Today is Tuesday. So I've just started packing up my art room. Oh, it's literally the last thing in this house that needs to be packed. Everything else is done. We're taking apart beds. We're ready to go. Except my art room. I've just started it. It is, yeah, I hate packing it. There's so much stuff out there. I hate packing it and unpacking it. It really is my least favorite thing to do, which is probably why I've left it till the last possible minute. Like, we need everything in boxes by Thursday, and it's Tuesday and I've only just started. But I put a pretty big dint in it tonight. I was quite impressed, but I'm getting off track. Anyway, so yes, I have a few videos, but not a lot. I think I have maybe 2 videos saved on my phone. So if there's no videos coming up in the next few weeks, that's why. I don't know how long it's going to take me to unpack. I do have my Rascog. I've packed my Rascog with some basic supplies so I can do my Project Life. So you may get a couple of Project Life videos. That time I know in my last video I said I didn't want to use my Rascog because Ruby gets into it, but because we're moving and I want more of a bigger stash for me to be able to use until I get my room set up again, I have put my Rascog together. And I also found a storage tote thing that I could put some collection kits in. I've mentioned before, I keep all my collections together. When I buy them, I tend to buy the whole collection and put it in a 12x12 bag. And then I store these in my stash, my art room, all together. So when I want to use an entire collection, because I do love using them and love all the coordinating bits and pieces, I just grab the bag out. So my plan is to grab 1 or 2 collections. So if I feel like scrapbooking, I'm going to look and see what photos I have in my album, because I have printed all my photos up to week 10, I think. So I'm going to look through and see what 12x12 layouts I have and what collections will go with it. So then I can hopefully get some scrapping done too. So by having my Rascog packed with a few bits and pieces, I don't have to wait until my entire art room is set up to be able to start scrapping again. At least that's my hope. So we'll see how we go. But I did want to mention that before I got into the video. But as you can see, I've already started a few things. So this is, like I said, week 1. Yeah, I noticed that there wasn't a lot of 4x4 photos, so I do have a few gaps. I'm also using some 4x6 gaps with 3x4 photos so I can add journaling cards. Like this one here, this was important because Ruby is almost 2, and Ruby doesn't like to take bottles. Ruby was exclusively breastfed until January. And by saying that, I only mean that she won't take a bottle of milk or formula. She does have food, obviously, but she still likes her boobies. Well, when we got back from our holiday in early January, she took a bottle for the first time. So it was a very noteworthy moment. She still will not take bottles during the night, and she still sleeps 2-3 hour blocks, but it's progress. But I did want to journal that because this was the first time she ever took a bottle. So it's exciting for Dad to be able to do that. But yeah, so I've noticed this is a trend I have over the next few weeks. I do want to put the stories next to it in the journaling, so I am using 4x6 spaces with some 3x4 photos. This one, some of my photos, so I send Snapchats to my husband every day, generally of Ruby getting into some kind of mischief, and I tend to save them and take screenshots, and those are my photos. I noticed I wasn't taking a lot of photos. But then I had a closer look. It's because I'm taking videos of everything. So I've had to remind myself to take some screenshots of my videos so I have photos for my album, because I've got a lot of videos. And this was one of those screenshots. Now, sometimes they don't fit entirely, so and when I do the same thing when I take a screenshot of a text message or a Snapchat message or something, I just crop it so it'll fit in my size, my designated size, which means I may have to make it with a bit of white space. Does that make sense? I have the white edges sometimes. And I just got lazy and I just decided to journal on the white part of that photo. But you will notice some of my photos do have the cropping like that. And that is because I don't want to crop too much of the photo. And if I did crop it to fit the 3x4 or the 4x6 size, I'd miss out a lot on the image that I want to keep. So sometimes I tend to tell it not to cut the photo down and it just fits it to the size I want so I get my photo the way I like it. Does that make sense? Anyway, because I didn't have a lot of 4x6 photos, this is an empty journaling card. I actually haven't filled it out yet. I don't know what I'm going to put in it. I might make it into a filler card. I might just put something pretty on there. I'm not 100% sure yet. So I've just literally, when I got some things out, you saw in my kit, I pulled some things out. I really enjoyed using the wood veneer. I've got my tiny attacher out and I have stapled some of that wood veneer to a few places on my on those cards, which I really love doing. So I think I need to get my wood veneer out some more maybe. That might be something to look into. So this is the second page of my album, and I'll tell you what, having this mini kit, it was a lot of fun. Everything was there ready to go because we know if it's not on my desk, I'm not going to use it. And especially in this case, because I'm inside at the dining table, I'm not going to go out to my art room and go pick something up. So having all these little supplies in this little pouch on my desk was fabulous. I really did love it. If you didn't see that video, it's literally the one before. I'll try and remember to link the post, to link it in the comments. I put together a little mini kit from my stash. It's literally inside an A5 clear document pocket and everything fit in there except my alphas, of course. I just picked some cards, a few stickers, a few embellishments, and that is what I'm working with. Some basic tools, tape, scissors, my tiny attacher, and that's what I'm working with to get this spread done. I did make another one for week 2 and 3 only because the photos are a little bit different and I wanted a bit of a different feel from my cards. You'll see this has got more of a, I'm going to say this with quotation, like more of a girly feel, like with the dreamy cards. And then I wanted a bit more bold in the next one. So I've changed it up a bit, but that was my intention. I get very bogged down with things looking the same, and I feel very uninspired when everything starts to look the same and I use the same cards and the same supplies. So having the mini kit there really worked for me in the sense that I only intended it to be for 1 or 2 spreads at most. So therefore, I'd go and get fresh supplies and then be inspired by all my pretties all over again. So here I am. I had a 4x6 card, but I didn't like it for this photo. This is, I think, ended up being a 4x4 photo. Again, I printed it on a 4x6 and just chopped the top and the bottom off. Actually, I printed this 4x6 in a different direction, but I just trimmed it down because I just love this photo. I was reading and I recently started reading again. I reread a series because I wanted to read the last few books. And so I had to start the series from the very beginning again. And this is Ruby just poking her head over the top of my book. And I just loved it so much. So I took a photo of that and I wanted to add that in. And you saw that I just trimmed off the white border on this photo. Again, if I had have made this fit to the 3x4 frame, I would have lost too much of the photo of what I wanted in the photo, which was Ruby's new bath toy. It would have either chopped off her head or the actual bath toy itself. So that's why I printed it as I did, which made it nice and skinny. But I just trim it down, put it on a card, and then I just embellish or add some journaling. So it doesn't bother me to have photos like that. I do it a lot when I add text messages, screenshots of text messages, because they don't always fit perfectly into a 3x4. So I just shrink it to size and then chop off the excess, which doesn't bother me at all. So like I said, I have been adding a lot of 3x4 photos into my 4x6 spaces. So I had to get creative with some cards, which was a lot of fun actually. I get bored sometimes when it's just embellishing on the photo and doing the same clusters all the time. Like I said, I get uninspired and feel very blur, like everything's just the same. So being able to decorate these pockets like this was a lot of fun. I really enjoyed being able, to do something different, get a bit creative with my pockets, and that's always fun. So I'm adding a lot of journaling places on my photos, especially these 4x6 gaps. This is just a bit, I've cut off another card. Like I said, I was too lazy to get up and go get anything else I needed, including just some scrap paper that I could write on. So I got creative and I cut up some of those 3x4 cards that I had pulled out of my core kits. I have a lot of core kits, so it doesn't bother me doing this because you get something like, what, 10 of those cards each. So even just chopping them up to use bits, you know, cut the picture out of one of the cards or use the grid part for journaling. It was all really, really cool to do. And it gets those kits used up. I don't know about you, but man, do I have a lot, and I haven't even put a dent in them. So using the corners like this, it was really, you know, it's a creative way to do it. And I am adding journaling because I was using 3x4 photos. I was being able to put something else on that 4x6 card just to make it look pretty and, you know, decorate it a bit more too. So in my mini kit that I put together, I used some of the Simple Stories sticker packs, and I'm just using those to embellish my photos. And also just labels. Labels are fantastic to do a little bit of journaling. Like I said, I was being lazy. I didn't have any cardstock or scrap paper for me to journal. And yeah, so I'm just using some labels that I had and yeah, little offcuts of the 3x4 cards that I'm using. So I actually had a lot of fun. It's been a long time since I've gotten into my project life, and I'm a good couple of spreads in now, which I'm really excited about. And yeah, I'm really excited to get caught up. So like I said, this is week 1 and I'm just moving things around. I'm working on my dining room table. So I'm working in the sleeves. Normally I take it all out, sit it on my desk, and yeah, but because the way I've been trying to stay caught up is I'm printing out all my photos every week or every 2 weeks or so. I put them on a USB, take them to Kmart, I print my photos out, and then I put them straight in my album. So my album is almost up to date in photos. Not so much the scrapping of those photos and the decorating and embellishing, but the photos are there. And it just makes it really easy when I have 10 minutes or so even just to sit down, pull a page out, and just, you know, with these mini kits that I've put together in these little A5 pouches, just pull a few things out, pull a photo out and embellish it. And then when the baby wants attention, like she looks to be waking up right now, it gives me, you know, I can just leave it on the table and go tend to her, and then when I've got another few minutes, come back and do it again. It really has been a fantastic way to get caught up in my project life. I hate being so far behind, and I really want to get my albums done, but finding the time to sit and do it all in one go with a toddler is just, it's not practical. So being able to leave my things out and just work from these mini kits has been fantastic. I'm having a lot of fun. And yeah, I just really enjoy embellishing my photos. I'm really enjoying using thickers to add some words to my photos as well, as you will see. So that's it. That is week 1 done. So I hope you've enjoyed this video, and I will definitely be back with more Project Life videos soon. Bye for now.